Hey guys, so it's the last instalment of the cheek products. So today we're going to be going through all this. I've took some of the things out of my Shop My Stash, so that Pat McGrath Labs blush palette is there, the Hourglass is there, and then the Sleek highlighter palette, because I forgot to show you that the other day. So we're going to be showing you one highlighter palette. Sorry it isn't in the previous one, but there's not really much I can do about that now. And then we'll be going over to lipsticks. So we've got this trio of lipsticks here, reds at the back, and then some kind of mix match here. Like then where my other eyeshadow palettes are high-end, so I might do high-end and then drugstore lipsticks, because I want to do swatches. So yeah, let's go and do some swatches and show you what they look like. Okay, so I don't know what I want to do some swatches for you guys, but I don't know what the lighting's going to be like, but I'll do them anyway, just so you can get a general idea. I think I'm going to do Becca first, because Becca is the most that I've got, and then I've got like 5 Too Faced. Shall we do Too Faced first then? We'll do Too Faced first because I've got more Too Faced palettes, and then we'll move on. So this is all my high-end. I honestly didn't think I had this much high-end products, but yeah, let's get into it. So let's do these ones. So we've got the Too Faced gingerbread cookie. So I'm only going to swatch cheek products, guys, otherwise I'll be here till an eternity. These go in my cheek product drawer just because, so I don't much care for the eyeshadows, but the cheek products I absolutely love. So that's in the shade Gingerbread, and they're all the eyeshadows. And then we've got the Too Faced Eggnog Latte. Now these are really old palettes, but they work really well. Then we've got Peach Cobbler, sorry. Really pretty. And they smell so nice. And then, I'm not getting rid of any of these, I don't think. Then we've got the Peppermint Mocha. I like to keep these to have something to pull out at Christmas. And that, I don't really have many baby pink blushes. I've got a couple now, but like when I bought this I didn't have anything. So this is in Santa Baby, and it took me ages to use this one because I never thought it was my colour, but I really like it now. Right, so I'm keeping all three of them. Let me show you what these look like. Okay, so that's the swatches. So we've got the bronzer from the Too Faced Gingerbread Cookie. That one there. So cutesy. Then we've got the Eggnog Latte Blush, so that peach one in the middle. So that's it again there. And then the last one is from the Peppermint Mocha palette. That one there. So that's those palettes. Okay, so next we'll take the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow. I got this from a friend who didn't want it anymore, so I just want to see. Oh my gosh! No! Oh, it's the bronzer anyway. Let me just... I don't know why that's done that. Let's see if I can smush it back in. So can you see that has just tumbled out and I've just smushed it back in? Let's swatch them and see what they look like. Now it's all over my joggers. So that's great. So we've got the highlighter, the blush and the bronzer. Don't know what happened to that. The highlighter's nice. Oh, the blush is really nice. I'm keeping it for the other two products. I think the bronzer is just going to come out a lot. I might see if I can repress it. Right, so do they have names on? I don't think they do, you know. Yes, I can feel it, it's come out again just by me putting it upside down. Look. Can you see? See if we can smush that back in. I think what I'll need to do is repress it. But that's what it looks like. They don't have names, so I'll just show you what the swatches look like, shall I? That's the cute packaging once again. And the swatches. So I like them all. I mean, I feel like the bronzer is a little bit orange leaning, but the highlighter and blush is still okay. I don't know what's going on with my collection, because that's happened on a couple of things. Maybe it is just kind of telling me I should be decluttering it, but I'm going to try and get some use. Maybe put it in a project pan, but that's what they look like up close and personal. That of course smells really, really nice as well. It smells like can you remember the Too Faced Peach palette? I think it came out at the same time, but I'm not too sure when my friend actually bought it. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad about that bronzer. I feel like bringing this in for the next Shop My Stash rotation and just seeing what I think about it. And the last one by Too Faced I've got. This won't need to get decluttered. My mum got me this a couple of years ago. It'll be a couple of years ago next birthday actually. So it wasn't last year, it was the year before. So Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette. And I've not really used that much, but that's what it looks like. So let's do some swatches of this. So we've got a nice highlighter, a nice kind of matte sequin. Do you know, like Too Faced do those sequin eyeshadows? It's like that, but it's glowy as well. I never noticed that before. And then looks like we're getting the bronzer deal. And again, I need to use this more. Yeah, I would say it is like a bronze topper, but you could also use it as a blush. And then we've got kind of a NARS Orgasm situation going on. So yeah, I can definitely get rid of my NARS Orgasm, which is really, really old. Let me show you these swatches and tell you the shade names. Okay, so here we go. So the highlighter is Peach Pearl. Then the kind of matte sequin shade blush is Sugared Peach. And then the third shade up, it's called Peach Honey. And then the last shade, which really does remind me of NARS Orgasm. And then the last shade up really does remind me of NARS Orgasm, is called Peach Pop. So that's all four shades. They're really, really pretty. I don't know why I don't use this as much. And it's one of those versatile palettes that you can use as eyeshadow. So it's a good travel friendly palette because you can use it as highlighter, blush and eyeshadows. So that's that. Right, so the Too Faced ones, none of them are going anywhere. I like them all. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of anything from high end, just because a lot of them were gifts. They've cost a lot of money, so I want to try and use them up. They're not all necessarily things I would repurchase, but I do want to use them up. I think if anything, I'll be able to get rid of some things from drugstore, which we're going to be doing after this. I don't know whether to put it in high-end face palettes and drugstore face palettes. I was talking to my friend and she said she never watches like things split up like that, but the rest of you might, and there's quite a lot going on here with swatches. So yeah, I might do that. I think I am going to do that actually, because I'm doing that with lipsticks as well. So yeah, we'll do that. Right, so Becca now then. So we've got this Becca and Jaclyn Hill one. And this one is the Champagne Collection Face Palette. And you can see I've hit pan there. I really don't know how I've hit pan there, because obviously I used it a lot when I bought it, but that highlighter is way too dark for my skin. They both are actually, so I'm just going to make a point of trying to use these blushes, I think. But I'm going to show you everything. So I think this is Rose Spritz. It's one of my favourite blushes in my collection. Oh, it's so pretty. And then I think the darker one here is Amaretto. Perfect for the fall. And then, what's that last one? Pamplemousse, which is a matte. So what I tend to do with Pamplemousse, I mix Pamplemousse in with Rose Spritz and it just looks stunning. Right, then we've got, I think that one, Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. It doesn't look that dark on my arm, actually. I might be able to finish Champagne Pop, but Prosecco Pop is definitely too dark, which you're going to see now. Okay, so we've got Rose Spritz there at the front, then Amaretto, then Pamplemousse. So like I said earlier, I put Pamplemousse on first and then put a little bit of Rose Spritz over the top. Then we've got Champagne Pop and then Prosecco Pop. So I can use 4 out of the 5, I would say. So there we go. Sorry about the tissue. The next one is this Becca one, which I've had for a hot minute. This one is blushed with light, and you're getting Wisteria, Songbird and Snapdragon, and I really like this one as well. This one has got hard panning because I'm always using it, and I've swatched it. You know, I could probably get rid of some of my singles due to me having such a really pretty, versatile palette collection. I should have done this first and then I would have known what singles I could get rid of, because I don't need all this blush that I've got. So we've just swatched Wisteria, but I do want to... Oh, that's a satin. That one there looks like a satin. In fact, they both do. So that one was Songbird, and now we're going to swatch Snapdragon, which is my favourite. Feel like I need to take some of the hard pan off it because it's not swatching the best. Right, that's good. Okay, so the first one is Wisteria, middle Snapdragon, and the third Songbird. Aren't they pretty? Right, okay, now we're doing the Becca, Chloe and Malika BFF palettes. I don't know whose is whose. This one's Malika's. It's darker, so we'll do that last. And then this one is Chloe's. Sorry about the fact you can see my camera in there. Right, yes, Chloe's palette. Right, so I do like this, but in some aspects I like Malika's more, just because the blushes are more, like, kind of to my taste. But I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, they've got names on the back. So that's the highlight, which is champagne, but it's got a little bit of gold in it as well. Then we've got a really light orangey blush. Then we've got kind of a peachier one, and then we've got a bronzer. The bronzer's really nice for my skin tone. So the highlighter is called Glow Up, and it's a soft focus highlighter. So the middle blusher is called Fierce, which is a radiant blush. Then the third blusher is called Fabulosity. That's another radiant blush. And then we've got Cocoa Bronze, which is a satin matte bronzer. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so the last Becca one, which is Malika's. Okay, and you can see just how much darker this is. So I can get away with everything. I can even get away with using the bronzer, but very lightly. So let me show you what this looks like. I just love that shade. I got this first from TK Maxx. I thought it was Chloe's for some reason, because I didn't open it or anything, and you can't really distinguish whose is whose unless you look on the back of the palette. And then I saw Chloe's the week after and I got that as well. I mean, I got both palettes. I got both palettes for what I would pay for one, so I think there was £25 each, and I think they retailed for around £50. I think they retailed for $49.99 when they came out at Space NK, so I got both palettes for the same as I would pay for one anyway. So let me show you the swatches on this. Okay, so the highlighter is called Dusted. Again, that's a soft focus highlighter. The blusher is called Yes Girl. Absolutely love that blush. The next blusher is called Make Me Blush. So they're both radiant blushes, and then the bronzer is called Bestie Bronze, and that again is a satin matte bronzer. I absolutely love these palettes, and they need to get more use. Yeah, you're probably gonna hear me say that a lot, they need to get more use, but I am noticing that these palettes don't barely get any use, so I feel like for the next few months I'm gonna be pulling palettes rather than singles. So yeah, you're probably gonna hear me say that a lot, they need to get more use, but I am noticing that these palettes don't barely get any use, so I feel like for the next few months I'm gonna be pulling palettes rather than singles. So the only singles I probably pull are the ones that are on chopping block. So yeah, right, what are we doing next then? Shall we do this YSL one and this Dior one? Because quite truthfully, I'm only keeping it for the blushes in these palettes because they're really, really nice. I don't use the rest of the products. Don't like the eyeshadows. The eyeshadows, they're just nothing to write home about, and considering it's YSL, guys, I don't like it. I mean, the blush is beautiful. Gonna have to go in a couple of times. That's good. And these don't have names on, I don't think. Both of these were gifts off my mum. So, and then we've got this Dior one. And again, it's got that beautiful mauve tone blush there. And I don't like the eyeshadows in that either. Does anyone know how I could depot them? So I really do want to keep the blushes. But they're taking a lot of room up in my collection. Well, not a lot, but they're taking quite a bit of room up, considering I only want the blushes. I don't want anything else from it. So if you've got any ideas how I can depot them, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be much appreciative. It comes with some lipsticks as well. So it's just getting really, really dark because it's a miserable day. But let me show you again. Yeah, can you see the lipsticks? But yeah, I really like the blushes. I'm just going to show you them now. Okay, so that first one, the pink, is the YSL, and then the other one is the Dior. So they are both really, really beautiful shades. Next up is the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop. And I keep this for the contour shade and also the blush there. Don't really use the eyeshadows. I mean, I could use this when I run out of a cream shade and maybe pan that one. And no, I was going to say mahogany might be good for the brows, but it's got sequin shades in it. So yeah, let's just swatch these. I'm going to swatch the blushes individually because it's like a split pan. So do the blushes first. I'm going to turn the light on in a minute because it's getting really quite dark. Oh, that blush is really, really nice. The more peachy leaning one. And then I think what I'll do is I'll mix them both together and we'll see what colour that creates. Okay, and then the contour shade. So the front shade is, well, they're both rose quartz. So let me show you. So what I did is swatch the front shade first, that more peachy leaning shade. So that's that one there, and then I swatched the more kind of mauvey pink shade. So together it's called rose quartz, and then the third shade there is a mix together. What I need to do, can you see where the more pinky shade has got all that hard pan? I need to sort that out because it looks like a good blush. And then the sculpting powder is his sculpting powder in medium. That doesn't look like medium, does it? I mean, it looks nice on my skin tone. So that's all the swatches. Let's move on to the next one. Right, let's bring these forward. Okay, so let's swatch. Let me talk to you about this one. So I can't give you an overall opinion because I've only used it a couple of times. But Amy kindly gifted me this. It's the McGrath Labs. What's this one called? Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting Divine Rose, Desert Orchid and Golden Nectar. And Desert Orchid has been on my wish list since last year. It's that middle shade there, that kind of orangey, orangey goodness. So yeah, I don't think I'll have any problem, and it's a bold statement, I don't think I'll have any problem panning this, because so far I've just really enjoyed it. And I was over the moon when Amy said, well, I've got this palette, do you want it? I love this highlighter. It's really smooth. No glitter particles at all. It's just, I've got a feeling it's going to be one of my favourite blush palettes. Okay, so here we go. So the first one is Divine Rose. Then we've got Desert Orchid. And then we've got the highlighter Golden Nectar. So that's them all there. Definitely keeping this one. This is actually in Shop My Stash, so that will have to go back there. So this palette here is actually in my Shop My Stash, so that's going to go back in my Shop My Stash. So I'll leave that over there. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 left. So looking around, I cannot see anything that I'm going to declutter. This is fairly new as well. I think I got this in January. I wanted to treat myself to it for my birthday. And this is Benefit Cheek Party Package. They brought it out for Christmas and I got such a great deal on it. So Shelley is one of the new blushes that they brought out. Then there's Dandelion, and I'm sure Dandelion Twinkle's pretty new as well. So let me show you the swatches of this. Oh, Shelley's really pretty. Very satiny. I think Dandelion's matte. Sure, I've had Dandelion before and I didn't really much care for it. What the hell is going on? It's so chalky. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's got a bit of hard pan. Hang on a minute. I've just got some sticky tape. I'm going to remove the hard pan. Have I removed it? A little bit, but every time I go in now with my fingers, I think I'm going to have the same deal, which is just absolutely grim. Can barely even see it. Damn it, I've put my fingernail into Shelley. I think I only really got it for Shelley anyway. And that Dandelion Twinkle shade. It's a little bit smoother up top. I could do with like a blush brush to see, or actually an eyeshadow brush. I don't know, the things you have to do. Right, let's try this brush. So I'm just gonna try this. There's definitely a lot of hard pan on this. So I'll just have to remember not to go in with that, with my fingers. And then we've got the Dandelion Twinkle, which is so smooth. It's more like a finishing powder, you know. Do you know, like the Hourglass ones, how they're really satin? Could easily get away with that as a finishing powder. I might try it next time I use it. Right, let's get up and show you the swatches. Okay, so the first one's Shelley, then we've got Dandelion in the middle, and then Dandelion Twinkle. And you can only see Dandelion in the middle just purely because I've swatched it so many times with them without a brush. I need to figure out if that will work with just a normal blush brush and not dip my fingers into it anymore. They're the 3 shades. Next up is this Smashbox one. So this is the Smashbox Crush on Blush palette. There we go. So it's got shimmer in it, which I'm sure I've panned the highlighter. Warm Apricot, Guava, Suntan, Rosy and Rosette. Yeah. So I panned the highlighter. It took quite a while as well. So we've got... what shade was that? You know what? I'll just swatch them and then I'll go through the shades again. I think this one was Warm Apricot. And I absolutely love this shade. While I'm doing this, guys, like when you see makeup collection videos, do you like to see swatches or are you not bothered? I just need to know for December. I mean, I don't think I'll be doing swatches again in December anyway, but like in general, do you like to see swatches? Because I've not seen anyone, I've been watching some makeup collection videos and I've not seen anyone do this. And yeah, it makes the videos a little bit longer. I just thought you might want to see the collection. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd much appreciate it. I love your feedback, good or bad. Okay, so the first one is Warm Apricot. The second one is Guava. The third one is the bronzer, which is Suntan. The fourth one is Rosy. And then the lightest one in the palette is called Rosette. So that's what they look like. We're getting there, guys. So this one here is one that I've just had in the shop, my stash. It's so nice. So it's the Korres Bronzing Glow palette, multi-purposed, sun-kissed look, and it's the shade Candy Glow. And just look at this. It is absolutely stunning. So we'll start off with a highlighter. Highlighter is beautiful, but if I go on with a light hand, it's not too bad. The bronzer is very, very light. Hey, if you're any deeper than me in skin tone, this wouldn't work for you. Then the blusher is, oh, it's just so stunning. I think the blusher is my favourite thing from the entire palette. And as far as I'm aware, they don't have shade names. No, they don't. There we go. There's the highlighter, bronzer and blusher. I mean, how absolutely stunning is that blush? Okay, and then we've got the Hourglass. There we go. So this is a couple of years old at this point, isn't it? So it's the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe. It's not the one that came out last year. I really wanted to get one, but then I realised, look how much product I've got. I need to use this before I get another one of these palettes. What are they, like £70? I'll show you on the hand. On the finger, sorry. Right, so the card was full, so I've just got the highlighter to swatch. Which again is really, really finely. No glitter. When you put it on the cheeks, I mean, it looks a bit too dark for me, but when you put it on the cheeks it looks nice. It's very, very subtle, not really the kind of highlighter that I would normally pick for myself, but it's in the palette, so obviously I'm going to use it. So let me show you. Okay, so the first one is the finishing powder in Infinity Powder. The blush is called Strobe Blush Vibrant Heat. The third one is the bronzer, which is called Glistening Bronze Light. It's really, really nice satin bronze, very glowy. The fourth one is the blush in Luminous Rose, and the fifth one is the strobe powder in Supernatural Strobe Light. So just the highlighter. So yeah, that's all 5 shades from the Hourglass palette. Okay, and then the last one is this cream bronzer palette that my friend Lucy from Lucy's Unboxing Life sent to me. I won one of her giveaways. So Aesthetica Contour Series cream. Now these are really, really good if you're a makeup artist. As an everyday person, I can't use every single shade in here, but I'll swatch them. Okay, so these are all the swatches. So can you see what I mean? Not every shade I'm going to be able to use, especially that last one. Let me just talk you through the shade names. Number 1 So the first one is Korres, then we've got Chandelier, then the third one is Wanderlust, then the fourth one is Honey Love, then the fifth one is Summer Night. So Honey Love and Summer Night's a kind of mix. And then the last one is Chic Parisian, or Chic Parisian. There's no way I'm going to be able to use that, but the rest I'll be able to have a play with and see if they can work for me. So yeah, that's the last palette we're going to go through now. I'll be doing Drugstore in the next video. Okay, so this is all the palettes. There's 19 in total and I'm not getting rid of anything. Maybe if I've used them a little bit more, I'll be able to know if they're my preferences. The Becca ones definitely won't go. This potentially could go just because of the bronzer, so that could be on chopping block. I just don't like keeping broken palettes, as you saw from the Essence Cosmetics blushers. When I have to kind of make it practical for me to use, I just go off things, and I don't really need it because I've got this one here, and I've got the peach blush in a single, I think. I don't know if it's exactly the same one, but it's very, very similar, so that could go in December, we'll see. I'll definitely pull that out for the next Shop My Stash, I think. But anyway, yeah, that's all the swatches. Again, let me know what you think of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate you taking the time, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.